Yeah. Whoa. Tricks, you know what I'm talking about? That lettuce, that lettuce. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. That lettuce, that lettuce, focused on.
Lettuce heads, we are back with another edition of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. Tonight you got Goldie and Adam running it to do the Masters recap pod. Adam, I know we've been texting all day, but now we're talking in person here. Well, we've been texting all day. Now we're talking virtually here. How's it going, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. There's nothing better than Masters Sunday. I'm ecstatic. I mean, if you can't get excited about today to get on, like, what are we even doing, right?
If you can't get excited, there's two other guys at Team Plug. They couldn't get excited enough on Masters Sunday to join us. So we just thought it was a foregone conclusion. We were going to get all four of us, but maybe we've been doing that too much lately. So we're just going to have to go 1v1.
It sounds like they were a little bit disappointed in the winner. That's kind of what it sounds like.
It's
maybe
so
it was
funny.
A buzzkill.
You like, obviously, let's not bury the lead. Rory frickin' McIlroy back to back. I gotta tee something up on that on a serious note here in a second. But man, the Masters, before we get it tonight, just so you know, if you're an agenda hog, like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna tee it up, gonna do a little Rory discourse. We're gonna walk through the week, the moments of Sunday. Then we got some fun other Masters adjacent things planned. Adam doesn't even know what they are, so that's always fun putting them on the spot. We'll see how quick you are. But dude, the Masters always delivers, right? Like Justin Rose, he had the quote after Friday's round of like, look, I know Rory has a lead, but the lead's irrelevant. There's too much golf left. Have you ever watched this tournament? Even in my local text group, not just with you guys, just with local buddies I golf with, everybody talking about like reactionary city to every moment, and which is fun, don't get me wrong, we love it, but like, have you watched the Masters before? I mean, that's like, have you seen what happens on the back nine? And in this case, probably more of the drama, honestly, on the front nine, at least through the first 10 11 holes. But yeah, dude, it just always delivers. There's just no tournament, there's no event that even comes close. Like, you talk about the history of the US Open or the Open Championship, but there is nothing like watching in 12 hours of golf coverage for 4 days straight. There's nothing else that could bring me to do it besides the Masters.
No, you're right. I mean, it is weird. There's no other tournament where a guy can go into Sunday with a 4-shot lead, 3-shot lead, or whatever, and you're just like, you keep telling yourself there's so much golf left. There's so much. We haven't even got to the back nine yet. You know, the back nine, like, the tournament doesn't start until you get to Amen Corner, right? So we're in our text group, and through the first 20 or 30 minutes, like, you're losing your mind over every single shot, like living and dying with every shot of Cam Young, and we're so early.
But there's a reason. I'm not a hypocrite. It's not because I was overreacting to the moment. It was. I was not rooting against Cam, but as well as he was playing and had played since the front nine on Thursday, where he shot that opening 40, and then he was 15 under his next 45 holes going into Sunday. He had some good fortune Saturday. We had a snapdragon into the trees on 13 that kicks into the middle. He birdies the hole. Another, I think, 17. He was in the trees. 3, he fans it deep into the trees right, which makes that angle to that front left pin impossible. And it was still a tough shot, but it goes back down in the middle of the fairway. But we'll get into, I don't want to just, the receipts, the bill came due and the receipts were cashed in later in the round. But hey, let me stop for a second. Get serious. You know, everyone tunes in for the serious talk, but I do want to talk about Rory because, like, when we talk about sports, right, and you talk about greats, GOATs, Mount Rushmores, you know, these things, we get a little loosey-goosey with these, but when we talk about golf greatness, for me, this is really one of those, like, you know, the old adage, I wish I knew I was in the good old days when I was in the good old days type of moments. I feel like that's what we're in with Rory. It's not just is the 6 major, yes. So now he's with Trevino, Faldo, Mickelson, Jack, Faldo, Tiger, Rory. Now the only back-to-back winners. That's more of like the obvious facts up front. But then when you talk about like who are the greatest golfers of all time, most people immediately, what do you go? Jones, Snead, Hogan, Palmer, Nicholas, Player, Woods, Watson. I think Rory legitimately is now entering that conversation. And there's a reason why. It isn't just the majors, but it's the sustained excellence for 16 years as a modern professional golfer. And it's like, okay, he won the majors out of the gates. He had all the pressure of being like the next big thing post Tiger. Then he has this massive gap for a decade without winning a major, the endless failures we can talk about. But in that time, people forget he still dominated as a top 5 player in the world the entire duration. And he was number 1 in the world for a third of that time. And like again, everybody's quick to anoint like the next guy always in golf. Always has driven me nuts. First it was Rory, but then after that, it was Jordan Spieth, it was Jason Day, it was Dustin Johnson, it was John Rahm, it was Cam Smith, it was Bryson DeChambeau. Now it's Scotty Scheffler. That might be the first one that I think has the chance of a multi-decade run. But the only person who has been at the top of the game for the better part of 2 decades in modern golf is Rory McIlroy. And like, he hasn't had a fall off the map season. He hasn't given up. He hasn't mailed it in. He's stayed healthy and he's done the near impossible in modern golf. And I think everybody, including us, should just take a step back and like appreciate and enjoy what he has given to the game of golf for the last 16 years. So that's my soapbox for Rory. I know he rubs some people the wrong way, and that's fine. We could talk about all that. He's imperfect, but as a player and as greatness goes, he's had every reason to not try this freaking hard, dude. Like, it's agonizing to watch him golf sometimes. But for me, that's why it's compelling, and I truly think what he's done, he's cracked my top 10 of all time.
Yeah, it's wild because I think we always look at these golfers and it's like we look at them in a short story form, but it really is like a 500-page like novel with these guys, especially a guy like Rory. I mean, you think of you talked about the early part of his career. I mean, he wins those 4 majors pretty quickly. 2014, everyone's like, oh, is he gonna get double-digit majors? Is he going to get into the teens? Like, this guy's incredible. And then you fast forward, 10 years and it's like, is this guy ever going to win another major? Like, is he going to get to 5? Is he going to get to 6? And now you fast forward to 2026, he just won back-to-back majors and now he's at 6. And now it's like, hold on, we're not done yet. Maybe he does get to double-digit majors. I mean, am I crazy to say that? I mean, I know he's got 4 left to go, but he looks like he's in the prime of his career, man. He's just blowing it past everybody off the tee box.
Yeah, it's everything though, man. It's like he actually is a fantastic putter statistically, but he gets that stabby, scared putting motion, especially on Sundays in a big event. I think that's going to always be just something he has, but you can't have it all. And with that, he hits like the wildest shots. Like, sometimes you do question his course strategy. I'm sure Decade Golf actually saw them post that something like, hey, Rory, fit your driver for a fade and just go to a mini driver and fit it for a draw and quit trying to hit the 2 shots with the driver. But man, I don't know. Like, I think this is let's just transition into the golf. So Thursday, Friday, he's obviously dominating. I don't know how much we need to really recap in that. We can quickly hit Thursday as Georgia. We're in Georgia, if you don't know that by now. And we were very excited leading up to this Masters because it's been hot, it's been dry, it's been windy. The forecast for the week was going to be dry. It was our first Masters. 6 out of the last 7 years have been stormed and soft. And Thursday, we saw flashes of it. Like, the course was spicy. The greens were spicy. Wasn't unplayable by any means. But then Thursday night, on the live from, they were just dousing these greens. And I was like, well, maybe, they'll soften it a little for Saturday or Friday, Saturday. But, there's no other way to say it. I'm not going to say it was pillow soft. It's not like but seeing what was it? Was it Friday or Saturday when Scotty ripped a 9-iron back like 8 feet on 12? I was like, yeah, that's a problem. So I think there is something to be said of, what's the best version of Augusta National. I don't know if I want to dominate all this time right now on that, but I'll say it still delivers. Like it allows. It's hard enough to where people could take numbers. You saw it on Sunday. There was guys that were 7, 8, 9 under that finished even, but it does give enough opportunities if you do got it going and you can fit it into those bowls that it provides the drama. So I think, honestly, all things considered, what else do you really want?
I think you may be letting off the hook a little bit here.
Yeah.
I am so disappointed. Fred Ridley, the head superintendent, the Augusta National Competitions Committee. I mean,
what about the rules committee? We heard Cam Young's dad was on that growing up, so we forgot about that. I didn't know that.
Like, we get perfect 10 out of 10 weather, once in a decade weather. We haven't seen this in forever. It's always storms. It's always raining. It's like, oh, we can only do so much with the greens. We can only get them so firm. In the 1 week, the weather perfectly aligns and we don't do anything with it. Yet we speak out of one side of our mouth and say, oh, technology, we've got to do something about this because we can't really challenge these players anymore. And the only way we can challenge them is really just external factors that we can't control. If there's wind and if we can firm up the greens, then yeah, we can challenge them. Well, like, those external factors align perfectly for you guys and you didn't do anything with it. So it's what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
Augusta National, I think prides itself on being like, they're kind of ahead of the curve as far as the 4 majors. They always push the envelope forward. But man, I really feel like this year, I don't know what it was. I feel like they took a step back. Like, between what we can talk about the production a little bit, maybe later or something.
Yeah, let's save that for the end.
But yeah, just between the misses on the greens and some of the stuff we'll get in later, I just little disappointed, a little bit sour on this Masters.
Well, I want to bring it back to the event itself, but no notes. I agree with you completely. We can't say both things. You can't lead the Masters off by talking about how your commitment is to, rolling everything back and it's destroying the integrity of the game. And then, like you said, have those conditions and you soften it up, right? Like you're kind of playing into their hands. Now, there might be some nuanced counter arguments to that, but we'll stop on that for a second. So we get to the weekend. So Saturday, Rory doesn't have it. I think everyone was kind of overreacting a little bit because he didn't really particularly hit the ball fantastic Thursday or Friday either. He wasn't hitting his driver on planet Earth, but he hit some quality approach shots and he was making all the putts that you'd want to make. But Saturday he was clearly, he didn't have it. I guess those receipts were due for him. Scotty's charging. We get
He
through
played
Saturday.
pretty bad on Saturday.
Yeah, he did. So honestly,
You had to go down to like the 20th guy on the leaderboard to find somebody that shot over par.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it was very gettable Saturday.
I'll say this though, you're an athlete, you're a D1 collegiate athlete. There is almost nothing harder in sports than playing with a lead. I think Tiger is the golf anomaly. Nobody wanted it's so tough because you can tell yourself like this is the game plan. But dude, when you're up, okay, in high school, you're up 21 in the middle of the third quarter. Like it's just so hard not to be like, I just need time to go away, right? Like it's a tough.
But you know what's weird? Rory used to be that guy. Like you think about Kiowa in Congressional, he would get a lead and then it was over
because he was.
It was like, how many is he gonna?
Dumb. Yeah, I mean, and then he had reality hit him in the face, and then that scar tissue I think is a real thing. And I think too, just in the last 12, 13 years, his dominance of just overpowering so many guys have caught up to at least be competitive on that side where it was only a handful of guys prior to. So Anyway, so Saturday, Cam Young, like we said, played amazing. Thursday, back 9 all the way. Friday, Saturday was 45 under. 15 under through that 45 hole stretch. A lot of guys were going bogey free for multiple rounds. Scotty surges with the 65, and he's salty when somebody asks him, like, what could you have shot out there? Which I don't blame him. I thought it was Brandel went on this rant about the integrity of that journalist and how good they are at their job. I'm like, how good you are at your job. You have the number one player in the world walking off the course, and you got one bullet to ask him, and you ask him the Chat GPT 6-year-old question of, what could you have shot out there, though? It was like not a very. I understand why he was salty on it.
I think it was a great question. I mean, what could you have shot?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're always asking ourselves after a round. What
if I
could
made
have been?
every putt, yeah. So, anyways, but then the drama set up for Sunday. Rory and Cam, they're tied, but then the leaderboard's bunched. You got a bunch of horses that have either championship golf, major championship golf pedigree, or at least Masters pedigree. And then, dude, the first 12 or 13 holes of the day, you can say what you want about conditions and soft. You're not gonna match 25 because of everything that was on the line. But I don't know, for that 3 hours, what more you could really ask for on a on a tournament that people thought wasn't going to be competitive come Friday afternoon. All of a sudden, Rory's immediately back to 9 under after the freaking 3-putt bogey from 6 feet on what was it, number 6. He clearly but I did text you guys. I was like, hey, he's actually hitting it better than he has the last 36 holes. It's just he's got to get over a couple of these nervy putts and see something go. But it was everything, man. Like, as you were going through it, you had, obviously, Cam looked infallible. Like, everything was end over end. Every putt seemed like it was going in the middle of the cup. And even like 5 was a huge moment. Rory, he goes in and he hits an awesome he hit an awesome 6-iron high draw into the middle of 5. Looks like he has a good chance at birdie. I think there was only 2 birdies there that whole day. Cam is, he misses the green right, hits a poor chip. What's he do? He rolls in the 15-footer for par. Rory misses it. And it's just like, it just seemed like there wasn't going to ever be that momentum for Rory to do anything. But then, like, it really unraveled for Cam on 7. So Rory hits a good ball. He hits a good approach. He's got that slider 5 feet, 6 feet above the hole. Cam's got a green light. He's got like 115 in, left of the pin. So now he could, like, Rory had to go over the flag, so you can't bring it back. Cam had the whole slope left. And literally the only thing he couldn't do in that shot is dump it short in the bunker. He has effectively like a 20-yard landing spot from clearing that bunker to deep to where he can use that slope to, like, worst case is he got a 10-footer. And he dumped it in that front bunker. And it was just like, after that, all of a sudden, we're burning edges. We hit it off of a tree or we hit it, what was it, 9? He hits it in the tree, he punches out, he's in a divot. So it's like all the breaks you were getting prior, now you're not. And he just, after that, even though he was still hanging around, he was kind of effectively, like, once he was in the divot in 9, I was like, he's not winning this golf tournament.
Jeez.
But because I mean, you feel free to have discourse on that. But while that was going on, some other stuff was happening. But what about that front 9 with Rory and Cam, and then obviously you had Rosie starting to make the surge?
Yeah, Rosie started to make a surge, and then it was weird. I could have swore once he made the turn that I was like, he's going to win this golf tournament. He's just playing really good golf. And man, he got to Amen corner and it all just fell apart. I think he bogeyed 11, 12, 13. And then at that point, he was kind of just
13
chasing.
was a 3-putt par. So, but it was demoralizing. It was basically.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. He hit that great shot into 13 and 3-putt par. And the wind just gets sucked out of you. But yeah, then it kind of just felt like it was really the Cam, Rory, and Scotty show at that point.
Well, what's okay? Let's talk about Scotty, because Scotty comes out hot and then he just pars like whatever, like 12, 13 holes in a row or something, right? So like Scotty's on the board and then you're just waiting for it, and it's just like par, 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 par. And then when he parred 13, and then all of a sudden he's 50. Like again, it's like, oh well, Scotty's out of it. And on 15, he blows it in the trees right to try to punch out to have a reasonable wedge in. He clips a pine. He's got 186. He's still in the pines and has to flight something under the shelf in front of him. Hits an amazing shot to hit it to 20 feet. He birdies 15. He birdies 16. Now he's sitting at 11 under, and we're on 17, and he hits probably the closest shot I saw of the day. And that was it. Like if that was literally it. If he makes that putt, he's probably going to go to a playoff, and Rory pressure at the end. He's probably winning that golf tournament.
Yeah, I felt like 12 was the number. I think I sent in the chat that like if Scotty can get to 12 and get in a playoff, I think it's over. I think Scotty's going to win. Didn't quite get there, but man, so Scotty, like you talk about 15, he birdied 15. Man, he's going to be looking back at this week and just thinking about what could have been. He didn't play the par fives very well at all. You take so he had 2 eagles on number 2 across I think the second or third round, but outside of that, I think he was like 5 under on the par fives for the entire week, and that's with 2 eagles.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes, he didn't have a birdie on 13 or 15 until that birdie on 15. I had the note already loaded that no birdies on the back 9 par fives for Scotty, and of course has a double barky and rolls in a 25 footer on 15. But yeah, but still, yeah, that's where he lost it for sure. I mean, you have to make up the ground there. And interestingly enough, Rory hit poor shots a lot of times into those holes, but he was birdieing, getting up and down with wedges from proper spots. So I do want to, let's talk about 13 and 15 for a second before we go to the end of this tournament. I hand up. I didn't love when they extended 15. I think when you do get the wind too much in, or if the fairways get too soft, it's not a great par 5. But like the way it played this week, I love 13 and 15 because I don't know what the data exactly is, but just what I watched, anybody that had over 230 yards should have laid up on 13. Like I watched 9 out of 10 guys put it in the creek. That I had that were north of the 230.
I don't remember seeing very many guys go for it when they were that far out. I felt like the guys that were going for it were in that 200, 220 range.
And it was
anything outside of that, they were laying up.
220 was a really interesting number. That 220 to 230. I saw a couple pretty decent shots that could hold fats of that green. A lot of guys bailed out long left. A couple fanned it short right. But I'm telling you, that 230 to 250, it's too much slope. It's too much of a slight mishit. And like everyone's protecting against the hook left because of how severe it is. And I'm telling you, you just catch a fraction of heel and everybody was in the creek. So, I mean, I like it. I mean, instead of just blasting it up into the flats of the pine straw and, it just is what it is. It made it compelling to me. But I thought 15 played really good how they wanted it. It was, you could be up top and have a mid to long iron in, but the green wasn't holding as much. So maybe I don't know why, but it wasn't as pillow soft as some of the others. You really had to hit it high if you were going to hold it. So some guys hit quality shots in there that looked good, kind of middle of the green, and they released off that back. So I thought 15 played pretty legit. Rory at 15. I think we all said the OMFG moment. But yeah, that wedge he had off the downslope was, that was about, I don't know, a half a yard from taking that slope back into the water. So
I think I'm at this point. If you would ask me this 5 years ago, I would have said 13, but the comparison between 13 and 15, obviously 13 gets all the love. Like it's gorgeous hole. He kind of wraps around the creek right there.
Yeah.
but I think 15 is like the best par 5, I don't know, in the world maybe.
Mm.
It's just it's incredible, just all the decisions that have to be made. Now, I will say, I'm not sure about that greenside bunker. I almost kinda wish it wasn't there, 'cause I feel like I remember seeing guys bail out to it. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
bailout point where it's like, Imma aim at the bunker, it goes in there, I know it's not going in the creek, I know it's not going long.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so I
kind of
don't know, I
feel
don't know
that
if I
way a
want
little bit about the bunker on 3. The whole high left bunker too of I feel like I would rather that just be a severe runoff to where it's just an impossible like up and down
yeah.
maybe, but who knows? I'm sure they know better than I. But hey, we're kind of fast tracked over. Let's talk about so Rory. He gets it back. He birdies 7. He birdies 8. I thought he was going to win the tournament on 9. He stuffs it to 6 feet and he burns the edge, but has a good par on 10. He has a good par save on 11, which was very nervy. That approach he had in, I said, hey, I text you guys. I said, if he's inside of Cam's ball, he hit a bad shot here. Like, don't fucking go Rory and put this thing in the water on 11. But he left himself 40 feet up the hill, but he left it 6 feet short. And that is not Rory's bread and butter. He makes it, but then he goes to 12. And it's just like, if you know ball, that shot into 12 is one of the best. Maybe he fanned it a little
Yeah, I
accidentally,
don't there's no way he tried to do that,
but he
right?
did. But I don't think he wanted it exactly over the right corner of that bunker. That would be shocking.
Yeah.
But I would also say the shot he made, his motion is his cut flighted wedge. I mean, his cut flighted iron swing. So that kind of sawed off. I'm not going to flip it over right to left, which I guess honestly, if you're ever going to flip it over right to left, you probably want to do it to the right flag on number 12 at Augusta. But I don't know. It came out with enough. I mean, it landed on the green. It's not like like Cam Young's didn't clear by or cleared less than Rory's did. He had an amazing shot too. But to birdie 12, I mean, there's still drama at the end, but I was like, that's got to be it. Because he survived 10, 11, and then birdies 12. And I was like, there's no way he's going to fuck. Everyone's like, the Demons on 13. That was like a 1 out of a million thing, dude. There's just no way that he was going to fuck up 13. And then he steps up to the tee on 13 and just beasts the power draw to have like the shortest shot in you saw of the week. So that he won the tournament on Amen Corner. That's what you want.
No, you're right. I'd be curious what the stats say about leaders who have gone into 12 and birdie 12. Like how many guys have lost after that? Like if you're birdieing in 12 on Sunday with the lead,
Yeah.
I have to feel like your win percentage is pretty high.
Yeah.
Because there's really not a whole lot left where you can, I mean, there's a lot of birdie opportunities still left with 13, 15, 16. So you're kind of in the driver's seat at that point. You've skated the Jordan Spieth 2015 disaster or 2016 disaster. But yeah, once he did birdie 12 and 13, it did feel like he was going to be heading in the right direction.
Yeah, man. It's well, I'm looking at my notes here. You know what's crazy? You know who had the most notes on this besides Rory was freaking Justin Rose. And it's just the fizzle at the end makes it upsetting. But the run he had, I mean, I know we talked about it. I'm not going to get into the details now, but it's like 11, he bailed outright, which I understand, and he didn't get up and down. And then 12, he chunked the chip. He was in that kind of dreaded, I got to play above the whole chip spot where a lot of guys are on 12. He bogeyed. It was actually a good bogey save. And then, yeah, he hits an amazing shot. He took the most aggressive line on 13. Then it's an amazing approach, and then he 3 putts. So it was like, that's where my notes stopped of like, he was effectively done at that point. And really, I thought the tournament, like I said, I thought the tournament was over after 12, especially then Scotty's in the trees at 15. So the miraculous back-to-back birdies made it a little bit interesting, but I don't know, man. It was, it was to me, you can't beat it. I just absolutely love it. You did mention Spieth though. They mentioned on there, it made me really, it disturbed me that he won 11 years ago. It's scary out there, let us heads. If you're whether you're 22 checking us out or you're in your 40s or 50s, time is a bitch. And that's kind of where I went on my Rory thing earlier, right? Like Spieth was supposed to be the generational guy, and I loved watching Jordan Spieth, but it's like,
who's to say he's not gonna be? I mean, like I said, it's a novel, okay? Like the story is not over for Spieth, okay? Look, I want to. Hey, Spieth got screwed, okay, and it goes back to the Fred Ridley, the greens, like. What more do you need to see? Spieth's leaving putts 5 feet short. He's putting from like 10 feet.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, that was a pretty absurd putt, but you saw guys the first like 2 or 3 days, like just leaving putts nonstop short. And I know a few guys like in their presser, they're saying like, yeah, like the practice green is running faster than like the course greens. And like, it's, you have to adjust. But, yeah, I don't know what was going on the greens. I think Morikawa led the field in putting, which
that's all you really need to know.
That's kind of all you really need to know, right? I mean,
as you would say, that's damning. So yeah, what about Sergio's antics? Did you keep up with any of that?
Man, I think
it actually started before today. It started before today. You saw that it started. Everyone's going to know about today, but it started with the day before where he got mad. And I don't know if he's mad at his caddy. It's what it looked like, but he basically scooped his ball and like his caddy's like 4 feet from him and he rears back like he's going to throw it straight into his head. And his caddy flinches and then he just like turns away and walks away. I'm like, I know like you go professional athletes get fiery, but that's just like, there's nothing that can happen that can make you do that unless he literally like intentionally while you were swinging was like, fuck you, Sergio, like, that didn't happen. He was on the green. And then today, second hole, was it that he hits a not even egregious drive, but not a great drive. He blocked it right. And then he slams and breaks his driver and he's losing his mind. And then they come out immediately to talk. The Green Jackets surround him walking down the fairway. I like that. There's a lot of stuff at Augusta that makes me roll their eyes, but they said, no, not now, Chief. And then he started carrying Rahm's bag for the caddy because he was cleaning a bunker or raking a bunker. So I was like, dude, you're not getting out of this one.
Yeah. The Green Jackets came out of there. Like, excuse me, sir. This is not Live Nashville. We don't do that around here. Okay. We have a standard up to uphold.
Dude, the Live again, like whatever. I'm not here to go, oh, Live didn't perform well. I don't care. Hatton played good. Whatever. We're past that. But these guys wearing their fucking Live team logos at the Masters. It's the funniest. And I heard some people like, oh, it's better than Blackstone hats or worse than Blackstone hats. I was like, don't get me wrong. Corporate logos are obviously lame and everything, but no, it's not worse than the ChatGPT level terrible logos of those teams that you don't care about, but you're wearing at the Masters. It's just,
it's
man.
Not it. Hey, going back to Sergio, I mean, I don't know if you can like take a guy's green jacket away from him. I don't know, but I feel like, Sergio might be entering some territory where, maybe he's not invited back. I don't know.
Maybe not the same privileges.
Right.
Like we talked about it last week in the prep. I had an idea of like all these rules of, the player still has to be sponsored by a member when they go out there. And I said, well, maybe it should be like, if you win one, you get to go play whenever you want with a member. If you win two, you can bring like, maybe you don't have to do that. If you win three, maybe you can bring a guest with you. Plus you can go. So there's that, but maybe with Sergio, it's the inverse of like, hey, you can still participate in like the champions dinner and all that, but you're not ever coming out here to play rounds. Like you're just not that guy.
No, I like that. Another guy, Bobby Mack, he was displaying some pretty wild behavior out there. I don't know if you caught him, but he's throwing up the birds in the pond. Yeah. He's slamming clubs into the ground, taking up some grass. So I think he got a little talking to as well.
He's kind of on brand for him. Yeah. So who got removed from the grounds Wednesday? Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Some guy yelled something, right?
No, it was a past champion had a cell phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah, he got detained and removed from the property.
A past champion?
Yeah, said I can't believe I don't remember. It's gonna drive me nuts. Hold on. Mark Calcavecchia. Yeah, on Tuesday afternoon had a cell phone out and he got detained. And when they went and confronted him, they had it and he got removed from the grounds.
You can't do that to Cal. He probably had like a razor phone out there. I mean, come on. I can't believe they did that.
Okay, so while we're here, that's an accidental segue into call me what you want. I'm not into all the gatekeeping, but I do like some traditions, and I fully admit some of the stuff at Augusta is bonkers, but it just works for them. The influencers that snuck meta glasses in, dude, I know you don't use TikTok. Congratulations. You've banned it but you've never even had it and you've stuck to it. Literally, I saw 200. They just all went to my algo of on the grounds videos from people with meta glasses in. And I'm like, dude, I hope if Augusta is as shrewd as they claim they are of catching people retroactively, I hope they spend all their resources this year finding those accounts and sending the notices to those people that like you, your family, and future children are banned from not just Augusta National, like the state of Georgia. It's like, what kind of fucking lame ass piece of shit are you like that you got to, and I don't know, say what you want, but I saw people talking about it and I was like, I hate anecdotes of like, oh, one person did it, so you're going to freak out. Dude, it was everywhere. It was like every dipshit was now videoing live from the Masters. And I was like, what the fuck? What are we doing here? I thought there was what scanner are you going through security that it's not catching that you have meta glasses?
Yeah, I think I did see there was some sort of influencer that got canned one of the days. He had the meta glasses on. Yeah. I don't even know what these things look like. I mean,
most of them? No, I mean they blend in. If you get the real ones, like you can get Ray-Bans that just look like Ray-Bans. Yeah, we're gonna have to. It's like AI. How we're gonna have to have the stamp on everything. We're gonna have to do that with meta glasses. Like they can't be trendy. They gotta fucking just say like video glasses across the top, and you can't remove it. And if you do, you go to prison. Like we can't play games with this stuff.
You know what sucks though? I don't want Augusta National to get bogged down with these meta glasses when I really want them to continue to crack down on the ticket holders. Okay, I gotta get tickets at some point. I can't get tickets anymore.
Did you hear what they were doing this year too?
We've got some insider knowledge apparently that says that you got some secret agents out there in the patron field, asking people how they got their tickets.
Yep. Yeah, they're going all in on that. So it's pretty be careful who you talk to out on the ground.
Stay vigilant out there.
Yeah, please do. Get banned. Yeah, so I don't know. So okay, so we talked Sergio, we talked Spieth. Okay, let's talk about our buddy Mason Howell for a minute. U.S. amateur champion, friend of the program, Georgia native. He got to play. If you don't know, the tradition is if you win the U.S. amateur, you get invited to the Masters, and you are traditionally paired with the last year's Masters champion, and now they do the Players Champion. So he played with Rory McIlroy and Cam Young for the first 36 holes, who happened to be in the final group pairing, and Rory won the championship. So it's like, man,
what about that?
Yeah, what a moment. Like, not just being a senior in high school and teeing it up in the Masters, the first tee shot he hit where he just chloroforms it into 9 fairway deeper than I've ever seen. Also saves par, which was bonkers from there. Knocks his own hat off. There's an amazing still image Augusta has of like him in his, kind of side bend position with the hat falling next to him. So yeah, I mean, just happy for him. Again, I'm not like, we don't have to dominate a ton of time on it, but he conducted himself well, respectable, not just on the scoring. He hit a lot of golf shots. And he's got he was out there. I mean, he was out there in between Cam Young and Rory in terms of distance. Hit a ton of high quality shots, and not, first time out there. I think people forget. Tiger's first time out there, he did make the cut as an amateur. Second time, he missed it. Third time, he won the USAM. He went pro and won the Masters. So that's another thing. But amateurs haven't had as much success here recently at the Masters. And I think there's some reasons for that. Maybe we can get into them. But Mason, man, it was just awesome to watch. Like, talk about appointment viewing for us. You get to watch Rory and just a local buddy that it's like not just following the dream, like he is the dream. It's freaking incredible.
So no amateur made the cut this year, right?
Right.
So how does that work? Because I think
nobody gets nobody gets
the low amateur.
You have to make the cut to qualify for it. And that's what I saw Dan Rappaport talking about that. He had some bad data because he omitted a couple names, but it's become more of a trend. And there is an amateur spirit to history of Augusta, which why they invite. But you got to think, like, the issue is because elite amateurs don't stay elite amateurs long anymore, right? Like, Tiger won 3 in a row and played at Stanford for 3 or 4. That would never happen anymore. So the guys that could really operate at that level. So the last one to do it was like Sam Bennett, but he just graduated college, so he was 23 or something. And 18, 19 is way different than like a top 5 amateur. And now people are just they're ruining it like everything else. Like, well, they should just invite the Wagger #1 player in the world. I mean, no, you shouldn't. You should fucking have to win one of these prestigious events and you get invited to it. It shouldn't be like, well, they've been really good in the amateur circuit for 4 years, so invite them to the Masters. No, we don't care. Like, you'll get there one day if that's the case, but no, you got to go win the USAM, win the Mid-Am, do something like that. So anyways, that's my take on
it. Cool, man.
We got to that part of the pod. All right, trivia. Okay. What, you got one while I'm pulling up my trivia question?
No, I mean, I was just going to say, the only thing is, these guys are basically just leaving the drive, putt, and chip area and then going and playing the Masters. I mean, it's all these young,
Okay, that was not going to be my trivia question, but that was going to be my crazy question for you after this. Mr. Golfberg's not on here. It's who I was talking to about it, but I'll ask you. At what age would you compete to guarantee you would win the drive, chip, and putt contest? What age group would you have to compete at?
All right.
Just do it in 2-year increments from 6 to 7. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I think I'm gonna go the 10, 11 route.
That's where you think you would?
I think I can beat the 10 and 11-year-olds. The 12 and 13-year-olds, some of those kids, they're starting to really come into the body and they're starting to move the golf ball. I'm not in messing with the 12 and 13-year-old group.
It's funny. I would like to think it's an interesting question, not because of that, I would assume the driver distance I could, as long as I put one on the grid, I would be #1 in that category, even with the 14, 15-year-olds. But I don't know about the chipping and putting like that. You could, what if you just hit a skinny chip, dude, and you're just like DFL in it in the putt, like you just blow it 50 feet by or something. It's an interesting question. Grown men competing against the kids. We were going to maybe do a undercover golfer situation out there with Aaron and have him dress up and just tell everyone he's 15 and see what he can do.
We all know what Jules' answer would be. I mean, the guy that could win the Masters from 5,800 yards. Talking
about ducking, he didn't even come on to face the music to say, like, he claimed he could, just because he's playing good in a few week stretch, that he could win the Masters from 5,800 yards. This is the worst take.
Well, another take that I didn't bring it up, but I will say his take that he wants to play if he went to Augusta, he'd play from the tips. I think that's an awful idea as well. I think he would be miserable.
The tournament
But like
tees, baby.
he wants the tournament tees. He wants the heat, but I don't think that's the move. Just go to the members, man.
Yeah, if they let me do a replay round, maybe I would go do that for fun. But I would want my moments to be able to say I birdied a couple holes, and it'd probably be kind of tough from the tournament tees. But I did have my trivia question pulled up, but then we messed it up. All right, here you go. Can you guess who hit the most range balls at Augusta National this week?
John Rahm.
No. You want? I'll give you 3 guesses.
Bryson DeChambeau.
That would you would think, but no. The drama. I can hear everyone out there listening. Their hearts are pounding. They're flipping their cars over listening to this.
I'm gonna go off the board here. I'm gonna say Mason Howell.
Oh no, but that's what I would do if I was out there. I would just be
like,
beating
right?
balls.
Absolutely. If you miss the cut, what are we doing? Let's just go beat balls at the range, baby.
So number 1, drum roll please, is Patrick Cantlay.
Oh,
you want to guess how many? This is hard, but I'm curious if your brain can even get to like the ballpark.
How'd you get these stats?
Oh, dude, I'm just a stat machine.
Man.
I am data golf.
This is across 4 days or the entire week?
This is across the week that they captured range data.
Okay.
I'm
going to say 1,200.
That's really okay. That's good. I hate that you gave a round number. That's kind of beyond a cop out.
1,243.
Okay, that's a little better. 1,032 is the answer. So you were definitely in. We've done these kind of things before. What Jules? 37,000. You're like, what? Did you even fucking try? Did you activate any? Did any synapses fire there to get to that? But yeah, so 1,032 balls and just a little. Okay, number 2. Could you just give me? It wasn't in your 3 if you already guessed, but think who could be number 2, older golfer. I've actually heard that they're usually number 1 in this stat.
Vijay Singh.
No.
An older golfer.
Yep. Former champion, old guy now. Also, he hit 966 balls in case anyone's interested. Man, Adam's really thinking.
I know who hit the least balls. It has to be Fred Couples because all he does is just talk to everybody on the range.
Dude, it's all he does. Oh, but he reminds me of like one of my dad's friends. Like he's just the guy out there. He's like, yeah, I hit a couple. Yeah, Rory's never gonna lose one of these things.
Speaking of him, he was doing the whole Fred Couples thing where he was like 2 under, like going into the back 9 on Thursday or something. Like he's doing it again, and then he just
2 under going into 15, and he had to lay up, and he put 2 in the water and took a 9. He went 9-7-6 the next 3 holes. So classic Fred. All right, so it was Jose Maria Olazabal, who I've just heard them reference in the past that he's usually that week. He takes advantage of the week. Like he's getting his full 18 holes in on all the practice rounds. He's at the practice facility, loves every second of it. First one to the champions dinner.
He's going to Bergman's place.
Yeah, dude. That's what I would do. I mean, hell yeah, dude. It's amazing.
I didn't know he was a range rat. That's interesting.
I don't even know if he really is, but it's like he's the range rat at that range because you just want to soak it all in.
Was VJ out there this year?
I don't even know if he played.
Wow.
Yeah.
He must be hurt or something.
He had to miss that. But okay, well, Sadness Corner is the first Masters since I've watched the Masters. So since 94, I think, or 95, I think 94 or 5, whenever Tiger, I think 95 was his first amateur appearance. It's the first one we've had without Tiger or Phil. It's kind of like, this is the turning. That's why another thing, like respect what you got now. But
it Phil,
sucks. Whatever the personal issues are, I hope they're not bad. Obviously, the health, whatever they are, but having Phil in the field, would be a very good thing. Tiger, I don't know if we're ever gonna really. I don't want us like it was hot as crap out here today. By the way, the guys handled it well on TV. I don't want to see Tiger like walking Augusta. It's too sad at this point. Like go play Champions Tour golf, get some cart golf in, and win something would be cool. But
speaking of Tiger, something really weird happened to my Instagram algorithm where all of a sudden I started getting a bunch of videos of like Amen corner and cars flipping like into the fairway, and it's like, oh, Tiger's here, and it just wouldn't stop. It's like
I did send you guys a text too in this vein of. If you just read it in Jim Nance's voice, so I'm going to butcher it, but I sent you guys a text and said, guys, somewhere Tiger is upside down right now, just marveling that Rory finished 21 under. And if you get the joke, you get the joke. I thought it was a good one. All right, man. Well, hey, Adam, you got anything else on the Masters?
We didn't talk Rahm.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, or again, Bryson ejected.
Yeah, Rahm or Bryson.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, like, I know there's a lot of talk about, the live guys. Oh, have they lost something? Are they going to be ready for, the majors? It's always the same thing year in, year out. And I mean, I think the data is kind of, mixed. I mean, the last couple of years, a lot of live guys have done well at Augusta. But I'll say this about Rahm. I think he's the one unique one where I do think that he's lost something by going to live just because of how fiery, passionate, competitive he is. Like he needs that environment. And since he's gone to live, I think he's just lost that. And so when he shows up for these majors, he doesn't seem like the same guy he was when he was on tour. And it's just, I don't know.
I think year one, it was obvious when he went to live. And I think year two, some people pushed back because he had some flashes. And not only did he play well a lot in live events, he had a couple high finishes in majors. And then this year starting on live, he's been in pretty good form. But I agree, like the difference with Rahm, even like Bryson's like, kind of a sideshow act as talented as he is. But like Rahm was, I went on that rant of like, we anoint the next guy. Rahm and Scotty are really the only two that have the complete toolkit to be a dominant player for multi-decades. In conjunction with Rory. All those other guys, they had glaring flaws. Or like Brooks is just weird oddity that he was just a no-show in everything except majors. But Rahm is that guy. Like he has all the talent. He's exceptional at every skill of the game. And yeah, it set his career back. And I think whenever he comes and joins the PGA Tour next year, maybe in another year or two, he will go on another 3-year run, but definitely just took a chunk out of the middle of his career. So, but also, hey, Rory took a 10-year hiatus from winning majors. So in that time, if he could have gotten a $500 million to go golf internationally, maybe he should have done that too. So, all right. Anything else?
I think we're good.
And lettuce heads, if you made it to this point in the podcast, we always give you special information because you are the 0.01 percentile that can just ride out to the final comments. A lot of fun stuff coming up. So we're going to be out shooting at a property that very excited to showcase for you guys actually this week. Got a couple more projects lined up for May and June. We're about to have everything from Stream Song start to release next week. Full review podcast, 4 independent videos. Really excited for you to check it out. But that's the Masters 2026. Rory McIlroy. Don't know what else to say besides I love it. You should too. And we'll see you next week. And most importantly, stay plugged. Peace.
Shout out to